Okay, we're trying again. So, if you guys don't know, I tried live streaming this just a moment ago and it broke down on me. So, I changed connection. Hopefully, it's better. But I'm gonna reintroduce myself. Welcome everyone to the channel. My name is Furban. If you're new here, I usually stream on Twitch, but today you're live on YouTube playing one of my most popular series and one of the series that I really like. It's just Hashihime of the Old Booktown. But yeah, again, not sure how much we're gonna replay in a way, but we're gonna try to get to the place where we can choose a different ending, which is very exciting. Also, I mentioned this before in the previous stream that I deleted from my channel, but yeah, I use a new model right now. I wouldn't say I rushed this model, but it's not a full body model. It was something that was made for Christmas. I'm just gonna make an animation of it. But I got busy, still busy, so I just decided, you know what? And, you know, fuck it, and just make an upper body version, which is... It still take time, but it wasn't as much as I was planning for. But yeah, that's that. Okay, so let's get into the game, shall we? Let me turn up this music. Oh, you know what? Let me set myself up first. Studio mode. I'm still not sure on how studio mode works, but we'll see. So I'll just move myself here. And then move this. Turn up my music. Sorry, suddenly so quiet. Freaking loud. Hatsu! Also, did you see? I can put my arm down. It's still a bit freaky. I look like I decapitated my arm. Okay, it's fine. My magic's just running low. I'm not sure how to operate this yet, so... There's still some tweaks. Again, I kinda off-rushed this, so it's fine. Anyways, nostalgia time. Mature content warning. I can't do the voice thing because I added that in editing. Obviously, it's so clear that I edited that, but... Anyways. Mature content warning. This computer software contains content that may be unsuitable for some players, including depictions of violence, sexual conduct, abuse, rape, mental illness, murder, discriminatory language, and suicide. This work does not in any way endorse or affirm criminal acts or violations of human rights. By continuing beyond this point, the user agrees he or she or they acknowledge the above does not find such content described above offensive nor obscene and is requesting this content as in good mental health. Also, viewers' discretion, okay? There's death, there's violence. I'm not sure about abuse and rape, we have not reached that part yet. Well, questionably, but I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's a weird thing. If you watch the last Minakami's episode ending thing, you know what I mean. It's a bit of like, is it? So yeah. Again, there's a lot of death. The first time, freaking spoiler alert, Minakami died. It was wow. It was wow. So yeah. Again, I'm not sure if I'm gonna replay all this because this will definitely destroy my freaking throat if I'm gonna read a chapter containing. Let's see our save file. Yeah, we have around. Oh, this is May. Is it May? No, it's November. From November up to March. So it's a 3 months of amount of story, which I think one of these is like 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. So there's like, got math, 16 hours of content, I think. So that's insane. We're not gonna reread all of that. Are you kidding me? So we're not gonna do that. I'm not sure when the option starts, so that's the worrying part. So I'm not sure how we'll approach this. Can we just skip them through? First time only. Yeah, let's put a first time only. Again, we're not sure. There's like so many content left, I think. What's extra? Oh, characters. Minagami. Ooh, Minato Suisenji, Tomoya Kanzaki. Oh. Blood type. Oh, 178. Nice. Prospective student of the Imperial University Literature Department. Continues to avoid death by living for the stories Tamamori writes. Okay. Realizing the reason he couldn't accept the previous Hashihime disaster was because Tamamori meant more to him than anything else. He decided to give up on killing himself and to live his self-supporting Tamamori. For now, they live separately, but Minakami comes over to stay at Tamamori's house on rainy nights. Aww! Cute! Oh, there's story of them. Toba and Sanjo. Hajime Toba and Tadashi Sanjo. Who the frick is Tadashi Sanjo? The irregular regiment Troy and Chink. Chink? I never read this. I don't remember. Being the brains of the irregulars, they should not be shy around their elders. Pretty good at extorting money. They hate being bored and often head out to shops around Asakusa to pick up all the money to get something to eat. They're both perpetually optimistic. I remember this guy because he's cute. He's a child. He's a child. No. Oh, they're so small! Oh, wow. Okay. So, Tadashi Sanjo. I don't remember him. I think he's the caramel guy? Maybe. These two, the other two. Geita Zemon Kato and Toro Kudo. Oh, they're smaller! Cute! They are graduates Quatre and Dia. They live in the used bookstore Sanzendo, which double a shelter for homeless young men. In order to survive without having to rely only on book sales, Kato-kun begs for money on the street, and Kuda-kun shines shoes. Kato-kun loves to draw and is always drawing pictures of buildings. He's gonna be an architect! Cute! Okay. Then we have this guy, Haruhiko-san. 155? He's freaking short. I guess that's how short Tamamori is? I thought he's not real. I thought he was like... Is he real? I'm not sure. At the end, it was a future Tamamori or like some weird shit. So I'm now just confused. Is Haruhiko-san always future Tamamori? I'm not sure. A character introduced in the story Tamamori wrote called the Giant Toad Rainy Season. He's one of Tamamori's conversation partners when he's talking to himself, but was taken over by the shopkeeper and is always watching. While he considers the frogman to be a weak hallucination, there's a part of him that cares for him deeply. Aww. Now, this guy is, wow. Naoshi Oizumi, Meiko. Yes. We stand. A cross-dresser who enjoys embroidery and cute things. His quick wit and sharp tongue makes him Tamamori think of him as a mini Kawase. Wow. He's sure like Kawase though. Sometimes he's a delinquent, sometimes he's a cafe waitress, but his true identity is the leader of the Irregulars Regiment, a group of detectives who protect the peace of Jinbo-cho on a daily basis, or at least that was their plan. His love for Kawase is genuine, and it was never meant to be. No! No, Naoshi-kun! Oh, wow. Yeah, this is Minagami's. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. So we're missing a lot because we have not known them much yet. Oh my god, we're missing so much. So excited. Okay. And now I just want to get into the next option. Should we? Should we? We'll try a few things. Previously, I've read it, like on the previous stream that failed. I read it, but then I got too much into it. So we're not gonna read it this time, so that I don't get basically like just too much into the reading. Let me turn on the audio for you guys. So back sound. So we're gonna should we try skipping? Okay. This is happening. How do I stop it? Oh.
それによくわかった。お前がどれだけつまらない人間かということがな。
I'm gonna make myself smaller actually. Boop. There am I? There I am. Why did you say there am I? Anyways. This is a lot of content. Should we see how far this goes? If it's not too far, we can still read. But if it gets like over 3 hours of content, I'm not gonna do it. So let's see. Let's see how long this takes. God, doesn't this give you nostalgia though? The earthquake. They're bantering. Oh my god, yes, the beautiful scene of Naoshi-kun. Okay. Ah, Minagami! I missed him! Yeah, this scene, I remembered it was like going over and over. And I was like, it's like the same story. So I was like, what? Wow, they repeat a lot of the stuff, huh? This is like literally all the same. Wow. Ah, God. The first time we meet Professor Hakase-kun, I love him. The Irochiro Regiment. I don't remember this part. Dogra Magra. Oh, yep, him reading and with thinking that he was a serial killer. It was a lot of whoop. Okay, I think we're gonna reach the part where he had the awakening of his purse power soon. Okay, I don't remember this part. Avoiding you, Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah, they were gonna watch Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. The little freaking Kawasis little voices is oh god, yes. This was a really long story. And then he went back again for some reason. He noticed that he was awake, perceptive. Meet the regular regiment again. Ah, Hakase-kun, I love him. We should play Hakase's story, right? Well, I skipped it already, it's fine. God, this is like a long time. This is like, I believe it's reaching almost 6 chapters? 6 episodes of this content? Wow. Are you insane? I was thinking to replay it. We're reaching almost like all of it. This is when Mikami died. Wow. Yeah, this was like, I think, was it on the 7th or 8th, I think. Hakase-kun. Yeah, but where did he visit? Oh, and then we meet Hanazawa. Yes. Oh, Hanazawa. He's also very fine. I love him. Hanazawa-kun. Oh god, his music, yes. Wow, this is like really long. Meeting Naoshi-kun. He's hiding the mole so we don't recognize it on the first few episodes. Interesting. We meet Hakase again. Oh yeah, then he's praising Hakase. Oh yeah. Yep. Hakase praising him and told about the story. Wait, I don't remember much of this. What? Oh, yep, the killing. We ran, we go back to the past. Wait. We didn't fall the first time? This is when Hanazawa died. Yep. Okay. Oh no, nope. Okay. Minakami. It makes me sad again. This is a lot of story. What the F? I don't remember a few things. I just hope things doesn't change because I'm not reading it. Like, there's a few things I forgot, but it's like a 16 episode game, so like, if I forgot something, it's not gonna be super shocking. But damn, this is a lot. Oh, this is the first time he's met his clone. Wait, I thought he went back without Hanazawa dying first. Was it not? I thought he was chased and then he fell and then he woke up. That was the first time? Okay. And then we told him that there was Naoshi-kun. And then the killer came again. What? Okay, this is where we go a bit crazy. God, I don't remember a lot of this. This is the first time that they told him that Kawase potentially a killer of this freaking adopted father. Yeah, Ikeda-kun. Yep, yep. Well, this is a lot. Hmm. Is it the cat? Yep. Oh. God, this is a lot of story. Oh, God. Okay, I don't think anything changes. I just don't remember a few of the scenes, but it looks like most of it is going with the thing that I remembered. This is insane though. Like, how many episodes is this? Can we just watch this skipping, I guess? Nakami. Frogman. Yeah. Ah, Hakase-kun, I love him. Okay, we meet Naoshi-kun, and then he followed us out. Oh, it's different! It's different! It's different! Okay, okay. I don't know why it stopped, but let's see.
君こそよくぞその格好でついてくるな。
Yeah, I remember this. I had to censor this for the thumbnail. We're both walking around half naked, but now she couldn't finally stop following.
ねえタマさん、タマさんがすがりつく最後の砦、僕たちにしてくれないかな。
Okay,
これ
so
はお願いなんだよ。
so if you guys don't know, I think. Oh great, got disconnected. Yeah, we can't connect to any network. Okay, guys. I can't get it connected. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. So, I guess for the rest of this episode, we're gonna be a recording. We're gonna get this edited, I guess. Cause like, or maybe I don't need to edit it. We're just gonna pretend that this is a live stream when it's a recorded video. Cause like, I don't know what the F is going on with my connection. I got my setup going so good, but now my connection says, no, you don't get to have that. Okay, so we're just gonna pretend I'm live streaming. Not that I get viewers while I live stream anyway, so who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Okay. Ah, okay. I don't remember. I lost all momentum. It's fine. I tried to get it connected so much and it doesn't, so I give up, y'all. Let me turn off this. Okay. 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 Alright. I was about to tell you guys what else you could mean here. A little bit of catch-up update. I remember this scene in particular because Naoshi-kun was like bad. I wouldn't say bad mouthing, but he was like jabbing Tamamori at the right spots, you know, saying that basically he was a leech to Minakami and Kawase-kun, and that even if Kawase is a killer and Tamamori thinks he's a killer, he's not gonna get rid of Kawase because he needs Kawase to basically amp up his public image or something like that, you know? And that's why now she can like, hey, instead of them, what would you lean on to us?
僕たちを英雄にするのはタマさんなんだ。
Heroes, huh? There had been times where I admired words like that. Boys were the ones who fought for their dreams of grandeur. Fleeting theoretical fantasies, gold-pelted castles in the sky.
もう一度言うよ。僕たちと一緒に英雄になろう。
He gently held out his hand, his eyes were full of confidence that didn't match his youthful palm. That was what I needed right now. So Oh god, I don't remember the last choice. I don't remember what happened. Okay, I'm gonna save. Let's put a 1 blank here so we know. Okay. I think we just decided to take his offer on the actual Minakami's route. He took the offer, I think. But then like kind of like backstabbed them in the back. Or he didn't. He denied it, right? He denied that Kawase was his final pillar of strength or whatever. I'm not sure. Let's take it. Alright, let's see how this goes. I was going to just touch it in some way. Ah! We got achievement. I don't know when there's... Oh yeah, because the internet's dead. I was just going to touch him in some way, but before I knew it, I was grasping his hand, almost clinging to him. Now she couldn't give me a sympathetic smile as he gripped my hand back.
玉森さん。
私は直志くんとの友情にかけてみるよ。
It is a different ending. Oh my god.
笑うか？
Waraoka? I'm not sure whose ending is this. I guess we'll see. Like we played one Minakami.
笑いませんよ。
Waraimasen. Both the frogman and I had been hurt one too many times. He was definitely an eyesore. I thought I could be rid of him if I ran away to the capital. Feel a lot better now that he's dead. Oh right, Kawase did that. He was a dick. He said that about Minakami, that bitch. I still hate him for it. After hearing all that, there's no way I could ever see him the same way. Naoshi-kun's hands was warm. It was a warmth characteristic of youth, almost hot to an elder person like me. Older, not elder. Okay. Good. What is this? Okay. It warmed my frozen heart and purified my wicked soul. Wow. You killed him, by the way, if you guys forgot. We killed Naoshi-kun. We did. It was... wow. Then the frogman placed his 3-fingered hand on top of ours.
直志くん、私はどうしたらいい？
どうしたいの？
I had no interest in heroes, I just...
友情とは何かを教えてほしい。
Ooh. Oh my god, is this a... Naoshi-kun... Is there a Naoshi-kun ending? I don't want to... Naoshi-kun is like a child. I don't want that.
ああ、教えてあげるよ。
Naoshi-kun slid his left hand around mine. Wow, Naoshi-kun. He brought it close to his face and stared at the callus on my middle finger. Kawase had called it ugly before. I'm not saying calluses are a bad thing, but in your case, when I realized you got it from writing ridiculous manuscript, I can't help but laugh. Remember that verbal assault? The old wounds in my heart began to ache. But Naoshi-kun's eyes looking at my hand were different.
働き者の綺麗な手だ。
Huh! I love that. Hardworking hands? Where had he learned a line like that? What did a guy his age know about hardship?
たくさん物語を書いたんだね。すごいね。僕にはできないや。だから僕はあなたを尊敬する。
God, Naoshi-kun is... Wow, he's a fake-ass bitch. Oh my god, remember! The last time we didn't take his hand is the day he died, isn't it? He did! We killed him! We killed him in this episode if he didn't take it! Oh my god! Wait. I just remembered. Is the choices gonna be like... Is there gonna already be opening all the choices? And if I didn't take his hand, there are gonna be other choices? I don't know. We're trying a different route, so whatever. I don't know whose route is this, but we'll see. Kudokun and the others appeared from behind him. You guys are all shirtless? Guys, wear clothes. Wow. Oh wow, now she can look so tall between these kids. What the fuck? You guys are naked. Butt-ass naked. Kids, wear some clothes. They were all naked. The Bakun was striking an especially intimidating pose as a bucket hung from his area. What? 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 What the fuck is going on? Okay.
友情っていうのは信頼と尊敬で成り立つものなんだ。僕にないものを工藤君たちは持ってる。工藤君たちにないものはこの僕が持ってる。
He's so pretty though.
タマさんも自分にないものを僕たちに求めてよ。
直し君。
そうすれば切り離せない友情が生まれる。
どうせ私を使い果たしたら捨てるんだろ。
玉森さん、すごく大人げないこと言ってる。
I mean, we know him.
黙れカエル男。
Damn. I brushed his hand away and took a step back, but now Shiku's eyes continued to sparkle as bright as ever.
そんなことはしないよ。そうだ。友情の証としてこんなのはどうだろう。舞台を作るんだ。
舞台？
そう、舞台。
Butai. He said as he turned around and began to walk around the dark road. I slowly followed after him. Guys, wear your clothes! Wear your fucking clothes! What's wrong with them? It's raining!
あなたが脚本を作り、それを僕たちが演じる。
え？
内容は池田さんと加藤くんの友情物語。川瀬さんにその舞台を見せて、池田さんを殺した罪の重さを責め立てるんだ。
Hmm.
どう？やってみない？
It wasn't easy to hand Kawase over to police, or to bring up his past with the newspapers. All of Japan was for sure. Oh, right! Kawase killed his father! I forgot about that! For to bring up his past with the newspaper, all of Japan was sure to focus their curious eyes on him. But to make a play? Now Shigen proposing something so convoluted to me must have been his way of showing just how much he wanted to welcome me as one of them. It's like he was ordering me to say goodbye to Kawase in my own way.
わかった。
わかった。
そう言うと思った。とまあ、一度機械湯に戻ろうか。湯冷めしちゃったしさ。
Yeah! Get clothed, kids! These guys had an abundance of exactly what they needed. Okay. We jumped back into the tub with a splash, only our heads came back up as we landed on our
さ
side.
て、10秒数えようか。
はーい。
Hi!
あーん。
で、
Yeah. Ah! Kuroko is cute.
トロは
Torowa.
トル。
Kateru.
シス。
We could only call out our own numbers up to 6, so we recited the rest in French together. I doubt that there was any other gangs as witty as Shinbocho's irregular regiment. God, he's like a university student hanging out with fucking
ここって。
children. He's hanging out with children, and I'm not sure I like that. Here?
うん。東洋キネマ。
Here we meet the caramel celery man. I followed them from Kikai bathhouse down Sakura Street to Toyokinuma. The last show had just finished and a lot of people was pouring out. The caramel seller came out to watch the guests leave. His face lit up when he noticed us.
直しさん
No, she said. Oh god, I shipped them.
こんばんは。
Konbanwa?
アンさんだろうが隊員名で呼べよサンク。
Sanga. Sanga? He was the fourth member, the one that had been missing this whole time?
いいじゃんいいじゃん名前なんてどうでもさほらカトキャラメルやるよ
Kunoko looked annoyed when he doted on Kato-kun. What's the other name again? Sanko. Like Kudo-kun's forehead and gave him an innocent smile.
空洞にもちゃんとあるっての
そういうことじゃねえよ。
God! I don't know why, he reminds me of Kuzuha.
お疲れ様。三条くん。こんな遅くまで偉いね。
おっさんが退院するまでの辛抱っす まあ金も入るし、活弁の勉強にもなるし、一石二鳥かな。
Ooh, film narration.
無理だけはするなよ。
はーい。というか、そんなこと言うために出揃ってるわけ？
ううん。君に新しい隊員を紹介しに来たんだ。
新しい隊員？
うん。彼が6人目の隊員、タマさんだ。
Ashikun said as he pointed at me behind him. As soon as I saw the caramel seller, aka, well, I don't remember his Sink, aka Sanjo-kun, I hid myself in the darkness. He kept calling for me to come over, so I slowly stepped into the light of the cinema.
あれ、クセっ気頭のお兄さんじゃん。
知り合いだった？
知り合いってほどじゃないっすけど、昨日の夜に来てましたよね。
うん。
Mm.
へえ、6人目ってことは、隊員名はシスか。
Sanjo-kun looked at me up and down, and he suddenly brought his face closer, a white foul smile spread across it.
三条くん、何か不満かい？
いや、そんなことないっすよ。大人にしては子供心がわかりそうだし。
God, no, 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 I don't like this. I don't like this. Him hanging out with children thing. Young at heart, huh? I had a feeling he was making fun of me, but since I was an adult, I kept my calm.
よろ
Sure.
しく、タマさん。
Dauma-san.
だからこいつはシスだと。
Sisitago! Kunogun is really into this codename thing.
それじゃあ俺は館内清掃があるんで、また明日。
待って、三条くん。実はお願いがあるんだけど。
Oops, sorry. As usual. This was how Nashikun explanation went. Nashikun himself would be the director, the lead role would go to Katakun, and Kudokun and Tawakun would play the supporting roles. And then he wanted Tamamori, me, to come up with a script and make a short play. It would be a tragedy about an evil Teidaisei who stole away Katokun's beloved old man. We'd showed him to the Teidaisei in question so we could watch him sweat.
なにそれ、超面白そうっすね。
でしょ？
Deisha?
三条には活弁をやってもらいたいんだ。会場は明日の夜。夜の部の上映が終わった後、この舞台を借りたいんだけど。
急ですね。でもいいっすよ。ただ問題なのは、あの帝大生が俺たちにホイホイついてきてくれますかね。
ああ、それに関しては問題ない。ここにいるタマさんは何を隠そう。
Knows him. Right, I was denying our former friendship, so Nakawase and I were only acquaintances.
タマさんももちろん協力してね。
うん。
Mm.
まあそういうことだから、僕はそろそろ帰るよ。明日の朝、また来るからね。後のことはよろしく、タマさん。
あとのことって、おい。
Nashikun left the theater as he let out a yawn. He normally worked as a waitress, so of course he'll be tired. The irregular regiment watched Nashikun leave with their cheerful smile. But as soon as he closed the door, everyone pierced their gaze. Pierced their gaze. Kudokun came up and threw around 20 manuscript pages at me. Kudokun was the only one excited to hand me a pen and some ink.
さっさと書けよ。三文分子。
Samman Bunshi.
俺はお前のこと認めたわけじゃねえからな。
後で直し君に言いつけてやるからな。
なんだとてめえ。
Damn it!
工藤くん、やめてよ。
Yamete-yo.
大人げないよ。そういうの。
Kudokun trembled. Kudokun frowned even more and tossed a broom to Sanjo-kun.
帰る。
あらら、へそ曲げちゃった。
俺も先に帰るよ。朝一番には来るから、それまでに書き上げといてくれよ、タマさん。
Tobakun watched me nod and then chased after Kudokun. The other became even more silent. Exhausted, Kudokun plopped into a chair. The frogman and Harika-san were staring at me from a chair further up.
子供を怒らせるとは情けない。
Nasakenai.
僕もさすがにあのセリフはないと思います。
I'm telling Naoshi-kun.
今更でしょうが。私が大人げないのは今更でしょうが。
The frogman covered his face in shame. Anyway, I picked up the manuscript pages and straightened them out on my knees. Calm down. Calm down. Stay calm, me. Once I look over the manuscript, I'll probably come
タ
down.
マさん、巻き込んで 本当にごめんなさい。工藤君はまだタマさんのことを疑ってるんだと思います。
それは仕方ないことだ。
そんな工藤の信用を得るためにもさ、いい脚本を書いてくれよ。
わかった。
わかった。Sanju-kun turned his white smile towards Kato-kun. Kato-kun gave him a little smile too. Kato-kun took out the caramel and rolled around in his mouth. Eventually he lowered his head, curled his small body up even smaller. Looked like he would cry at any moment.
君と池田さんについて詳しく教えてもらえないかな？
That might have been pretty cruel, but if I didn't hear about it, I couldn't write the story.
私は君の悩みを消化してみせる。信じてくれ。
信じてくれ。
僕は家族がいないんです。
I glanced at Sanju-kun. Even he was making a sad face, but he didn't seem surprised.
三千堂は孤児院なんすよ。工藤も鳥羽も、それと俺も。みんな訳あって親兄弟なしでさ。でもまあ、加藤が一番複雑かな。
加藤君。
お父さんは力士の男と駆け落ちしたんです。
What? Oh, his dad was gay? My dad ran off with a sumo wrestler? Okay, that's something that I did not expect. Okay.
なんと
What? What the hell? What a sordid story.
お母さんは男性不信になってしまって、僕のことももう自分の子供として見られないって。
Wow.
誰も助けてくれなかった。おじいちゃんも僕のこと可愛がってくれたのに、もういらないって僕を捨てたんです。
それは本当に嫌な話だな。
書かなくていいの？お兄さん。
お兄さん? There was no way I'd start a story with his father running off with a sumo wrestler. I nodded, pretending to agree as I twirled my pen.
加藤、力士について詳しく話してやれよ。
よせよせ、遠慮する。それより君と池田さんについてまた詳しく話してくれ。
Someone really don't like that story, huh?
あ、そうでしたね。実は池田さんも力士好きだったんです。
Okay. So it's going to end up a story about sumo. I love that.
ゲータ左衛門なんて名前、本当に恥ずかしかった。僕は巨漢じゃないし、力もない。もし僕が彼のような男に生まれていたら、お父さんはあんなことにならなかったんじゃないかって、ずっと自分を責めていました。古事記に雨の田力王というお相撲の神様がいるそうなんです。雨の田力王は世界を晴らす神様として尊い存在なのだと池田さんは教えてくれました。君の名にもその加護が宿っていると。だから君はこれからもっと強くなれるって励ましてくれたんです。
I didn't say a word the whole time. I had no idea if I should have said something during the pauses in his story. Perhaps realizing that his now wide eyes begin to fill with tears again.
だから僕、毎日工藤君とお相撲の練習して強くなったところを池
Cute.
田さんに見せたかったんです。
工藤君より強いのか？
俺も鳥羽も加藤には勝てない。
Wow. If he was that excited about it, then being told, I'll invite you over to my mansion next week, but not being able to go must have been really sad. What left me with an even stranger feeling was Ikeda-san leaving without saying anything to him.
加藤君、必ずや川瀬から真実を聞き出してみせよう。
Tama-san!
俺からも頼みますよ、お兄さん。
Oni-san? I love that he called him Oni-san. I think he did it as a joke, but it's still cute.
ああ、どんと任せなさい。
Or is this Kawasa's ending? Could be, right? That night we formed our friendship. Oh, this song is very Persona-y, doesn't it? Kato-kun spoke about his memories. I brought them to life with my writing. Saju-kun read it out loud as our young narrator. We laughed together at the finished script, which held nothing back. But the other door suddenly opened.
おはよう。ってお前らすごいクマだぞ。
すっごい言ってますよ。 Sanju-kun wrapped himself clumsily around Tobakun. Kato-kun also teetered over to Kudo-kun and took his hand.
ね、最高の寸劇でしょ。
おい浪人生
Araninsei.
なんで俺が帝大生の役なんだよ。
しょうがないだろ、人が少ないのだ。
Kudo-kun clicked his tongue as he quickly looked over the script.
まあこっちにセリフがねえのはありがてえな。
ああ。って俺は池田さん役か。
Exactly. All they had to do was move in sync with Sanju-kun's narration. Kudo-kun and Tobakun read from one script. I felt intoxicated by the supreme sense of accomplishment I felt when I looked at their earnest faces.
はあ、ちょっと止めてくれる？
The play stopped. That annoyed voice came from Ashikun as he looked all three of them in the eye, one by one. We had gone through their performance a couple of times and I could see nothing wrong with it, but...
何がいけなかった？三条くんの読み上げにも加藤くんの演技もそれは見事だぞ。
工藤だよ。
俺
Ashikun stood up.
帝大生さんは美味しそうにタバコは吸わない。
Oh, of course, Ashikun dislikes if he got Kawase wrong. Oh god. The little guy.
こうやって吸うんだ。
He thrust his hand into his pocket and narrowed his eyes, then pressed his index finger and middle finger against his lips. He sucked in air and slowly blew out invisible secret smoke.
こうか
Kudo-kun followed Ashikun's example and slouched. He made a circle with his thumb and index finger and pressed them directly on his lips.
指が違う。指は人差し指と中指だ。
Kudo-kun was clearly mad at Ashikun and was pretending to smoke with an even more annoyed look on his face. Oh, cutie! That irritation, that listlessness, that frown that could make all the living things shrivel up and die.
川瀬。
工藤、それだよそれ。
Just because he looks super annoyed.
なんなんすかあんたら。
Ashikun's eyes suddenly opened wide. He faked a cough, then awkwardly turned away from us.
それじゃあ僕は仕事に行くから。あとは君たちでちゃんと練習するんだよ。開演は夜だからね。
God, he really likes him. Poor guy. Like him, that tyrant. Kudo-kun closed his eyes. I feel like he had something to say. I fell after Ashikun as I waved my hand at Kato-kun and the others.
直しくん、
ああ、タマさん。
これからカフェに行くんだろ？
うん。タマさんも来るの？
そのつもりだが。
やだな。バレないから面白かったのに。
まあそう言うな。
I tried to have a normal conversation with him, but Ashikun's voice lacked enthusiasm.
なあ、直しくん。失礼かもしれないが、川瀬と君は少し似ているよ。口調とか態度とかな。でも、心根は君の方が優しい。やめようか、劇なんて。
どうして？
だって君は。
You actually like Kawase, don't you?
バカ言うなよ。僕はこれにかけてるんだ。
かける？
別にどうだっていいでしょ。タマさんには関係ないよ。
Oh, he is going to be like, oh, Kawase. Don't! You're a child! Oh god, come on. I don't think Kawase would though.
何を言うか。私を正規連隊の一員に迎えてくれたのは他でもない君だろう。
ああ、そうだったね。
Ashikun kicked up the rainwater with the tips of his shoe as he walked. In contrast to his lovely steps, his profile was clouded with uneasiness.
タマさんはルイコーのアー無常ってお話知ってる？
知ってる？
もちろん。
もちろん。
元はレ・ミゼラブルっていうフランスの小説が原案なんだ。
You read that? That's a rated novel.
そちらは見ていないな。
だよね。タマさんってばフランス語なんかわかんないだろうし。
君にもわかるとは思えないが。
実は僕もわからない。読んだのはルイコーのやつだけ。その中で僕はね、サブローが好きなんだ。 検案での名前はガブローシュ。
Gavroche.
彼は素直で明るくていたずら好きの困った少年だ。親に捨てられても彼はずっと明るかった。
Saburo was a young man who lived in the city of Paris like a wild bird. Sort of reminded me of Naoshi-kun in a way.
でもね、彼が明るくいられたのは孤独を寂しいことだと分かっていなかったからなんだよ。彼は誰にでも優しかった。自分より小さな子には特にね。不思議だよね。愛情を知らないのに人を愛せるなんてさ。愛されたいと思うばかりで愛そうとする人なんていないのに。
直し君。
だから僕はガブローシュになろうと思った。
Saburo dies part ways in the story during the June riots. He dies being shot by a bullet, first to his stomach, then a second between his brows. Moriyasu embraces him. No one could protect that life.
工藤君たちは孤児なんだ。三千堂は孤児院みたいなもんでさ。でも店主は今病で伏せてる。雨の日は店を閉めるから外で募金も募ってるんだよ。どっちが養ってるかわからないよね。
Oh my god, don't tell me the shopkeepers also who own the shop. That's... no.
彼らはたくましいよ。そのたくましさをもっと世に知ってもらうべきなんだ。
Naoshi-kun said, suddenly smiling his usual smile.
勇敢なる少年探偵団。そう認めてもらえれば彼らを引き取りたいって言ってくれる人が出てくるはず。
That was his plan? To get them adopted? I guess. Poor kids. Wait a minute. We reached the streetcar stop.
でもこのことは工藤君たちには内緒にしてね。
No.
奴らは結構今の生活が好きみたいだけど先のことは考えてないようだからさ。
直し君。
だからやめようなんて言わないで。
Because otherwise he'll start to lose his nerve. Because otherwise... Alright. Because otherwise he'll start to lose his nerve. There was Miko's... No. Naoshi-kun's embroidery handkerchief. It really did have a cute and intricate design. There was the quiet and awkward boy. The honest, cheerful girl. Naoshi-kun's true nature seems to be more like the girls.
直し君。やはり私は川瀬の家に行くことにするよ。
川瀬さんのことちゃんと連れてきてね。
わかってる。
絶対だよ。僕との友情に誓ってね。
ああ。
I smiled, then crossed right in the middle of Hakusan Street. Once he saw that I crossed safely, Naoshi-kun finally gave me an innocent smile. I got on the streetcar that came right then. Naoshi-kun rode the streetcar towards Kanda Bridge. Even though we couldn't see each other anymore, I could easily picture his face going blank.
迷いがあるのかい、玉森くん。
はい。
I felt something like relief in my chest when I nodded honestly.
これが一体誰のためになるのか、私にはわからないのです。
Me either. But the time went on as I rode the streetcar. My eyes stopped thinking. I pulled an all-liner. I'm allowed to take a nap, right? But, well, trying to clear my mind was a lot harder than I thought. That wouldn't be the case if I were a monk or something, but I was just a struggling writer. For someone like me who dealt in emotions, not thinking was a lot harder. So, let's make a list of everything that scares me about Kawase to distract myself. There were 3 things about Naoshi-kun's beloved Kawase and his tyranny that even he didn't know. Once I remembered how brutal he could be, I wouldn't feel so lost. First of all, Kawase was the kind of man who had no trouble throwing things away. One time I forgot something at Kawase's house when I was younger. It was a light blue crayon I happened to pick up at school. I always kept it in my pocket and I would show it off to Kawase any chance I got. I remember it on my way home and immediately went back to ask him where my crayon was. It was sticky, so I threw it away. The distance to my house in Kawase was no more than 5 minutes. I couldn't believe he'd throw out what he considered to be clutter in less than 5 minutes. I still have a lot I wanted to say about that incident, but I'm sure you can guess how much I cried after that. I never saw that crane again. Next, a man like Kaze had no trouble insulting people. The incident also happened when I was younger. There was a festival I really wanted to go to on the neighboring town, so I invited Kawase to go with me. Everyone was dancing like crazy in the center of the stage, while Kawase was standing completely still in the middle of them. I thought he looked cool, but of course the leader of the neighborhood kids had noticed him. Well, more than notice him, Kawase had done something to get himself so noticed. There's a bunch of ugly kids in this town. He muttered words that rubbed the leader the wrong way, which leads me to Kawase's third tyrannical quality. This was probably his worst trait. Kawase was the kind of guy who had no trouble resorting to violence. Whoa. He broke that pretty leader's nose and knocked him out, then ducked sharp kicks into his side. Jesus, Kawase! He pushed away an adult stepped in and stopped him. Grabbed my hand and ran down the dark path laughing. Did you see? Did you see his face? Kawase stopped at the river and laughed the entire time, until he finished washing his hands. He was twisted. That he is. That he is. So of course revenge would find him. Right, this was natural. Even if revenge wasn't had this time, Kawase would continue to do his evil deeds, eventually become a man seen all over the newspaper. But it'll be me. I'll be the one who exposes you right here and now. Kawase ending? Question mark? Oh, I hope so. I woke from the streetcar and stopped to Ikeda Manor. When I got there, Kawase was just coming out of the house. Tamamori-kun. Oh, I love his voice. He seemed a little surprised to see me. With what had happened yesterday, it's not like things were going back to normal so quickly. So I tried to smile at him like I usually did as much as I could.
おはよう、川瀬。
今からみなかみの遺品を整理しに行くところだけど、君も行く？
君も行く？
いいや。
いいや。
だったらなんで来たの？
お前に渡したいものがあってだな。
I pulled the ticket for tonight's show out of my pocket and handed it to him. It was for the film The Amazing Zorro, which Sancho-kun had secretly borrowed from the Shochiku cinema. By the way, Sancho-kun was also the one who borrowed Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde from Nikatsu. He was so young, yet he was left in charge of running things. He was an employee with a promising future.
前々から言ってるでしょ。俺は怪奇映画なんて興味ないって。
I quickly grabbed the ticket that was now fluttering in midair. Pushed it against his chest again.
頼む、一緒に来てくれ。
何なの？
お前の言う通り、今の私はおかしい。多分、みなかみが死んで混乱しているのだ。だからしばらくの間、お前がみなかみになってくれ。
Aww.
はあ
I knew it.
待ってくれ、頼む。一度だけ活動に付き合ってくれればいいのだ。
Kawase seemed doubtful, but he took the ticket and shoved it into his pocket.
わかった。一晩だけ付き合ってあげる。その代わり、今度こそ留守番頼むよ。夜までには帰ってくるから。
He handed me the keys.
家で待ってていいのか？
仕方ないでしょ。暇な奴は君しかいないんだから。
Whenever I asked, he wouldn't let me. When I didn't ask, he let me?
田舎に帰るついでに、君のおばあちゃんに何か伝えてあげようか。
別に。
どうして？
頼りがないのは元気な証拠というだろう。
I'm sure Grandma's lifespan would shorten if she were to find out I had been running safe for 2 years. Indifferent, Kawase narrowed his eyes, muttering to himself as he left in a hurry. I watched him leave in a drizzling rain, then turn back to the mansion. I made myself some coffee and added milk to it. I said spend a fine afternoon in the living room. Haruhiko-san and the frog was relaxing in a chair in front of me, quickly sipped on their tea once I got back.
君は田舎が嫌いかね？
え？
何かと避けているように思える。
I definitely couldn't deny that. I lay down on the sofa, faced the dimly lit ceiling.
あんまりいい思い出がないんですよ。
As long as nothing urgent came up, I probably wouldn't be going back to the country. Speaking of which, I was the kind of guy who hadn't come back even when my grandfather died. There's nothing I can think of at the moment that I considered urgent enough.
少し眠ってもいいですか？
そうしなさい。
三条くんも加藤くんも今頃眠たいだろうな。
だろうな。朝まで付き合ってくれたから。
But it was a pretty fun night. I was clinging to this town like an orphan. Even wish I had been born in this town. Story of the past. I'm sure I mentioned it before, but my father was attacked by a bear and died. What? No, you did not mention this before. I didn't know this story. My mother was also suddenly vanished from our village when I was younger. Oh, freak! Great, excellently. Okay, backlog then. Thanks to losing my parents, all adults were nice to me, and no one ever teased me or let me realize how unfortunate I was. It was all that sort of pitiful upbringing that gave me this wretched personality. All I could think was how lucky I was. Kawase and I were similar in that way. His mom also ran away when he's younger, and he was left to live alone with his father for a long time. So like me, he was also raised with the charity of other adults. I say charity, but they could just give us some sweet, donate old clothes and whatnot. That was about as much as they spoiled us. I guess I'll tell you about one more of Kawase's technical qualities while I'm at it. The fourth thing. He would throw away anything anyone gave to him. I forgot about that because it was such an everyday thing with him. But if I left that out, I couldn't talk about his germophobia. He'd throw everything into the water, from the sweets and clothes I mentioned earlier to produce and unused cookware. He'd throw them into the well. Kawase must have thrown Ikade-san out of this well too. I went to wake up 6:30 in the evening. Totally neglected my work at Umebachi though.
さすがの天使も怒ってるでしょうね。
さあ、どうだろう。花から期待されてないんじゃないかな。
いや
I sat up and placed both of my feet flat on the floor. I was going to start standing up, but ended up leaning back on the sofa.
川瀬君のことを考えているのかい。
ええ、まあ。
彼を殺人鬼だと認めておきながら、よくものんびりと帰宅を待っていられるね。
我鍋に閉じ蓋って言うじゃないですか。私もまた倫理のない男なのですよ。
At least you know, at least you know.
君はあの時、直志君の手を取ったのだ。もう川瀬君に負い目を感じる必要はないと思うぞ。
Obligation, huh? That word definitely hit the nail on the head. Up until yesterday, we were thick as thieves, but now it's like I was trying to smoke him out of a hideout or something. Feeling obligated to him seems to mean I still had some quarrels left. The frogman started to tremble as he stuck up close to the window. I drank down the last of my cold coffee and headed towards the front door.
汚い寝癖だね。
このくせ毛はもともとだ。
His sarcasm wasn't as sharp as it all usually was. Normally, he was the kind of man that could rip my chest apart and strangle me to death as his final blow, like a passing murderer. He remained silent as he went by me, headed to the parlor. Kase threw off his mantle and hat and collapsed on the sofa. Left for whatever reason, then glared at
こ
me.
こで寝たの。
ん？え？
もういいや。
Oh yeah. Kase on an annoyed sigh when he saw the traces of coffee I drank. I sat in the seat across from him and pretended to be oblivious as I tilted my head.
家を明け渡したのはお前だろ。
自由にしろとは言ってないよ。
じゃあ何か立ったまま寝ろというのか？
だから寝るなよ。留守番って何か知ってる？見張りってことだよ。
嫌に不機嫌だな。
好きで田舎に帰ったわけじゃないからね。
田舎はどうだったのだ？
I was sighed over and over again.
どうもこうもあるかよ。みなかみの親に遺品を渡したら泣き出しちゃってさ。それから興味もない昔話聞かされて、今も眠くて仕方ない。
最低だな。
でしょ。最低最悪。
Oh god, he's so sexy. God help me.
ああ、そういえば君のおばあちゃんにも会ってきたよ。あんまりいじめてあげないで。だってさ。
そうか。
Kawase's shoulders suddenly shook.
君の近況をよくわかっているようだったよ。
え？
あの子は自慢をする子だから、頼りがないのはふてくされている証拠。ってね。
Didn't it? God, Kawase's voice is so freaking. Help me.
すごいね。何もかもお見通しだ。
I couldn't tell if he was making fun of me or provoking me, but I wonder why it sounded like it was meant to make me feel bad.
お疲れのところ悪いが、今から東洋キネマに行くぞ。
え？ああ、そんな約束もしたっけ？
Kawase lifted his hips, clumsily pulled out his ticket, and ripped it along with the provided line.
おい！
めんどくさいな。
Mendoxina. I love that.
私は留守番を全うしたぞ。今度はお前が付き合う番だ。
そんなに俺を水上の代わりにしたいの？
代わりとは言ってないだろ
今朝君がそう言ったんでしょ。
Did I say something like that? I should have said something so careless.
う。最悪寝ててもいい。隣にいてくれればそれでいいのだ。
Hmm.
何が面白いの？
何がってそりゃ。
時間の無駄だと思わないの？
This man had been firing his question at me since earlier, but he already seems to have the answer. Even I thought movies were a waste of time. You couldn't learn anything from them whenever you wanted, like you could with books. You couldn't go back and read them, so all you have to laugh with was a half ticket in your hand. But I was fine with that. I couldn't get enough of that temporary once-in-lifetime paradise. Wasting time well spent enriches your heart much more than money. He was a pitiful man who knew nothing of that. No, I wasn't going to sympathize with him anymore.
1から100まで活動の魅力について語ってやらなくもないが、より良い方法を思いついた。賛じるのだ。
結局行かなきゃダメかい。
Seeing was believing, after all. I would pay close attention to those sleepy eyes. The Amazing Zoro was a silent film that had played at Sochiku Theater last fall. Zoro gracefully swinging his sword like what was like the personification of evil never wins and good always triumphs. Evildoers saw Zoro the next day, they would fear for their lives. If the poor saw him, they would shed tears out for this godsend. Any movie would have been fine as long as it could be used to lower Kawase out, but I couldn't believe it actually moved me to tears. The show was finally over. Kawase stood up immediately, but I waited and waited for him to sit back down in his seat, facing him with a wide smile.
どうしたの？早く帰るよ。
私はいつも最後尾で館内を出ることにしている。その間、活動の内容を振り返る時間としているのだ。
暇だね。
Cute.
なんだと。
I couldn't pick a fight with him now. I swallowed down the complete slush in my throat and picked the cup.
それより、初めての活動はどうだった？
よくこんなのに1時間半も座ってられるね。途中3回は寝落ちたな。活弁がうるさくてその都度起きたけど。
Noisy? Hey,
さすが
no.
に主人公が気に入らない。
I couldn't believe what he was saying. There was no way anyone in this world, let alone someone sitting right next to me, could dislike Zoro. When I couldn't help bringing my face closer to his, Kawase got annoyed and moved back. The inside of the theater was quiet. Once it finally just the two of us, Kawase began to insult Zoro without holding back.
金持ちの道楽にしか見えないね。ゾロは成果よりも家庭の正義に酔いしれる歪んだ人間だ。
そんなことはない。ゾロの啓発的な行動は先住民に自立を促した。
困ってる奴がインディオだろうとコジだろうと、ゾロにはどうだっていい。自分を真摯に演出してくれるなら誰だっていいんだよ。
隔てなく弱きを助けるという点においては、やはりゾロは帰結解決ではないか。
そうだね。これはゾロの GA が。
Oh god. I love this game.
G だ。
G だ。I wanted it to set up nice and straight.
だがなあ、川瀬。この世には人の助けがなくては生きられない弱きもいるのだよ。 たとえ気血の G であろうとな。白濁が純白に見える者もいるのだ。
What is this terminology? I hate it. Oh god, I hate it.
気持ち悪い。
気持ち悪い Indeed.
言葉は毒にも薬にもなる。たった一言に殺され、たった一言に生かされる者もいる。ただ、貴様の言葉は決して薬にはならない。毒だ。フグ由来のフグ毒だ。テトロトロドキシンだ。
テトロドトキシン。
Tetrodotoxin.
テトロドトキシンだ。
If I touch your skin, you start to tingle over. Once it got worse, your mind would go blank. Eventually, it'll be hard to breathe, and you start to suffocate. At that point, there will be no escape, and all you can do is cry. There was no antidote. The only thing you could do was absorb the poison little by little until you built up a tolerance. I was lucky enough to have been somewhat successful in breaking down the poison, but I had to sacrifice my stomach lining, in other words, my self-respect. I couldn't let there be any more sacrifices. It was time to sever this bond. The light suddenly cut out, and we were surrounded by darkness once again. Perhaps sensing the strange mood, Kawase turned his gaze towards me. I motioned with my chin for him to look at the stage. Right as I did, a light shone over a young film narrator.
さっきの中売り。
I said nothing as I clapped my hands. There was also someone in the front row who was cheering for the
玉
narrator.
森君。何これ。
Sanji-kun gaze no longer belonged to a caramel seller. He had a spark in his eyes, the spark of an alchemist giving life to silent, inanimate objects.
白バイの朝に期待して梅雨寒の夜に打ちひしがれる誰の涙かこの雨は。おっかさん、あんたじゃないのは間違いねえ。
Cute. Kato-kun walked onto the stage from the side. He stopped in the center, awkwardly stood up straight. He looked in the distance, his face as nervous as usual. Kawase suddenly burst out laughing. He looked at me in the face like he wanted to say something, but he shut his mouth and sank back to his seat.
僕を見捨てたおっかさん。愛情なくして育った僕は陸に上がれぬ玉じゃくし。これより始まりますは無声舞台ミゼラブル加藤少年。どうぞ皆様ごゆるりとご鑑賞くださいませ。
なんだ。俺のことじゃないんだ。
Wow, Kawase, you self-centered prick. Kawase suddenly sounded... Aww, he thought it was for him. Kawase suddenly sounded uninterested. When our eyes met, he gave me a smirk. The smell of Kato-kun sat properly on his heels.
ここにおります少年は生まれは肥前、育ちは両国。巨漢の力士、幾月芸太左衛門をひっくり返したかのようなか弱き加藤少年にございます。雨が降り出しゃ熱を出し、晴れたら晴れたで風邪をひく。名付けた親はてめえのくせに中身が違うと身売りされ、けれどもおっかさん、僕はあんたを恨みません。僕をさばいたその金で、やや子をどうぞお大事に。涙涙の雨に濡れ、加藤少年は霧と消えます。
After strumming a few times on the shamisen, Kudo-kun lowered his head. Yes, yes, very nice. With a nod of my head, Kawase turned his cold eyes towards me.
成長しろ。
別に何も言ってないけど。
Next, Tawakun wearing lipstick came out on the stage. He walked around Kato-kun and narrowed his eyes as if he were evaluating him.
匂うわ。ここだけ匂うわ。奉公先の奥様はやや子も黙る子供嫌い。横から前から後ろからあることないこといびり倒します。あらやだ、おもらししちゃったの？そんな違います。何が違うの？ほーら、布団にシミがついちゃった。哀れ加藤少年、卑劣な罠にまんまとはまり、札を貼られて川流し、その背の札を剥がしてみれば、スカタンボケなす罵倒の嵐。誰も僕など愛しません。僕も僕など愛せない。神田の川に身を投げて、湾の魚に愛されようか。
Soon Kudo-kun appeared. He gallantly approached Kato-kun with a towel over his shoulder and motioned towards something with his chin.
盾を薄のろ。 薄のろなんかじゃありません。さっさと立ってついてこい。有無を言わせぬ命令に逆らう勇気は彼になく、連れ込まれたのは暗い路地裏。意外や意外、少年が取り出しましたるは真新しい下駄。鼻緒が緩んでる。履き替えろ。
よっ、工藤。
Now she can clap his hands from the front row.
おいくらですか？金なんて取らねえよ。でもそれじゃあ商売が。俺は客の顔見て決めてんだ。てめえからは一銭も受け取れねえ。
Kudo-kun turned away. Kato-kun chased after him and stopped with even more tears in his eyes.
僕も一緒に働かせて。加藤少年、この時8つ。人生初の意思表示でありました。
Tobakun strummed Shamsi-sen off stage. Kato-kun and Kudo-kun faced us, bowing deeply. They stood up straight with unusually subdued faces.
以上、ミゼラブル加藤少年第1幕でございました。それ
嘘。まだ続くのか。
Kato-kun lay flat on the floor and rested his chin in his hands. I'm enjoying the story. I don't know what's wrong with Kawase, but I think it's a fun story. He suddenly expressed his good mood, kicking both his feet in the air. Meanwhile, I could see Kawase was losing interest and was already bored. Sanjo-kun and I were probably the only ones who were flying with excitement.
やってきたのは三千堂。孤児と主人が寄り添い暮らす何やら戸賀な孤児院でございます。かくして3人目の子として暮らすことになった加藤少年。先の工藤少年とその盟友、鳥羽少年と義兄弟のちぎりを交わし、彼らの親分、直志少年に主従を誓い、後に検裁、三条少年を迎え入れ、ここに義勇軍、不正規連隊を樹立したのでございました。
That might have been exaggerating it a bit. I watched the stage as I glanced at Kawase's expression.
愛情なくして育ったはずが、気がつき汗ばむ温かさ。弱きを助け、悪しきをくじく。見返りなんざ求めちゃあいねえ。あまたの方向を語るもいいが、やぼってもんよと聞かぬこと。あまりの無欲に呆れた神は、それは上等な天使を使わします。他ならぬ、池田照虎氏でございました。
Tobakun came on stage. Kato-kun stood up excitedly and helpfully jumped into his arms. Cute!
この天使、毎週水曜下界に降りて、加藤少年を我が子のように可愛がり、加藤少年もまた、池田氏に信頼愛情を求めるようになりました。私には子供がいなくてね、君を養子にどうかと思うんだ。優しい言葉にうなずいたのは、他ならぬ工藤少年。お前は洋服が似合う。でも工藤君、外見が変わろうが中身が変わるわけじゃね
よっ、工藤。
No, she.
え。甘えなさい。来週にでも君を屋敷に招待するよ。不安はもちろんありました。けれども工藤少年に背を押され、加藤少年は幸せになることを選んだのでございます。富豪の養子と自分をおごらず、変わらず弱きを救おうと、加藤少年は帰結ゾロに思いを馳せるのでした。しかし、待てども池田氏はやってきません。ついに加藤少年は池田氏の住むという本郷の屋敷へと向かいます。
Kato-kun knocked on the air briefly. The shaman then played in tune with him as a doorbell. The master of the house didn't come out. Tobakun eventually began to panic as he played the shamisen. Yes! Yes! I love that! Kudo-kun came to stage pretending to smoke a cigarette. Kawase smiled and clicked his tongue. Oh god. Oh god, I love that. Oh god.
池田邸より出たるは見知らぬ美男子。池田さんに会わせてください。ここにそんな人はいないよ。帰って。加藤少年にはその青年が正直者には見えませんでした。彼が蛇の化身であることを玉弱視である己の震えが感知したのです。
ねえ、この脚本書いたの ああ、君か。
Kimika. I know, right? Why didn't expect he wouldn't know? Surprisingly, Kawase just nodded quietly and once again directed his eyes towards the stage. I wasn't getting scared now. We were leading up to how Kawase and Katokun's fate had been directly intertwined. The play had definitely been made to make Kawase angry, but I had the utmost confidence in its content. If I had made any mistake, it was probably sitting right next to him. Suddenly, Tajukun put down my manuscript. He then stood up abruptly and looked right at Kawase.
それから俺たちはあんたの周囲を探った。ここ2ヶ月、あんたのおかしな行動は全部お見通しだぜ。
Kodokun put his hair back up. He took off his hat and tossed it to Naoshi-kun, then directed the sharp glint in his eyes towards Kawase.
なんで池田のじいさんがてめえっつう幼虫を隠していたかはわからねえ。だがな、てめえがじいさんを殺す動機はしっかりしてる。養子が増えて財産の取り分が減るのを恐れたんだろ。だから加藤と養子縁組させる前にじいさんを殺した。
だったら何？
僕たちさっきこの話を新聞社に持っていきました。
おまわりさんじゃなくて。
そうだよ。帝大生の養父殺しっていう、それは面白い記事にしてもらうのさ。
あなたに社会的な制裁を与えるためです。
今頃家は張り込みだらけになってると思うぜ。
朝にはもっとたくさんの記者が集まるだろうな。
震えて眠れ、極悪人。
Kawase took on the irregular regiment accusation with an unwavering smile. Even though everything should have been all said and done, there was still something odd lingering behind. Probably because Kawase hadn't offered a single opinion about it. He rose like a smoke, his hands still in his pockets. Even just that movement made them shiver and clench their teeth. Of course! The charisma! God, that is scary! That is scary! He slowly came closer and closer to them.
さしずめ探偵ごっこといったところかな。それも加藤君、君という何の価値もない少年のためだけにみんなが協力してくれたわけだ。
なんだよ、てめえ。
てめえ。
曇りない友情だね。玉森君が君たちとつるむ理由、よくわかったよ。
I love the jab.
君たちは本物の正義の味方だ。
Kawase put his foot on the last step. Now that Kawase was on the same stage as Katokun and the others, his usual smile came to his face. Naoshi-kun stood up to protect them.
帝大生さん。
だからさ、かわいそうな俺ともお友達になってくれる？
God, what is wrong with him? I love him.
いいでしょ。
何を企んでるんですか？
そう悪者みたいにしないでおくれよ。ただ玉森くんの書いた脚本にちょっとしたリアリティを加えたいと思ってさ。
リアリティ？
リアリティって何？
Kawase suddenly looked up at me. His smile was terrifying, but all I could do was hold my breath. All Katokun and the others had wanted to see was the bitterness on Kawase's face. Nobody thought that this would turn out into a comedy.
そこのメガネくん、俺と池田さんを代わってくれるかな？文句ないよね。
え？
活弁の君は池田さんの登場から読み上げてくれるかな？
嫌だ。あんたの言うことなんか誰が聞くかよ。
釣れないね。じゃあ味気ないけど、俺と加藤くん、二人の言葉で語ることにしようか。
Oh god, he's so fucking attractive. I can't even. Kawase looked right at Katokun. Kudokun immediately forced him behind his back, but surprisingly, Katokun pushed him away.
加藤くん？
Katokun slowly stood in its front of his barrier and showed himself to Kawase. Once he was able to suppress his shivering, he took a deep breath and glared at him.
もう逃げません。
嬉しいよ。俺も池田さんの思い出を語り合える相手が欲しかったから。
Memories. By saying that, Kawase was admitting Ikeda-san was
池
dead.
田さんはいいおじいちゃんだった。 早くに息子を亡くしてずっと一人ぼっちだったそうだ。俺と君に目をかけたのはきっと偶然なんかじゃない。俺たちの寂しさを見抜いてくれたんだね。
Kawase gently held his hand out towards
ご
Kato-kun.
めんね、君を一人ぼっちにさせて。でも俺も俺で寂しいんだよ。
Oh god. I can't handle Kawase whispering beside my ears. Okay? This is not okay. This is not okay.
だからお友達になってくれる？俺でよければ池田さんの代わりになってあげよう。
Kawase's tone with him was unusually gentle. I know, right? His tone and his face. It was like a defenseless side to him he never let anyone see. Kato-kun was unconsciously drawn to that palm. He jumped at Kudo-kun's warning. The moment he tried to get away, Kawase grabbed his hand and pulled him close. Kawase turned him around like he was taking him hostage. He then fell to his knees, brought his lips close to Kato-kun's ear and blew on it. Oh god, Kawase-kun, what are you doing with the kid? Stop it!
池田さんにはどこまでされた？
No! No! Ikeda-san was a pedophile? No! Did you take Kawase-kun? No! No, 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 no. I'm not into this story anymore. Freak this. No. No. No, no, no. I'm quite receptive to a lot of shit. But something related to children, I can't. I can't. Are you kidding me? No. Poor Kawase. Did he? Oh god. Oh no. Okay.
なんだ、まだ何もされていないの？
何もって何ですか？
Oh god.
それじゃあ深くは語り合えないね。
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Kawase-kun. Kawase-kun. No. No. I hate this. I want to skip it over, but I need to move on so we can get to the other story. But god, I hate this. I hate this amount of. I just want to like turn it off. Sadly, Kudo-kun was the only one to immediately spring into action. Kawase must have predicted that would be the case and shoved Kato-kun towards him.
君、この子のこと好きなの？よかったね。汚れてなくて。
Wow. Wow. This man. I mean, I kind of expected they like each other as well, but no. Did he touch you, Kawase? No.
待てよ、帝大生。おい。
Kawase didn't have his usual smile as he went up the stairs. Once he saw me, though, he sneered. I thought he would leave without turning back, no matter what anyone said.
待ってください。
But he stopped at Naoshi-kun's voice. Naoshi-kun went up a few steps, stopped a reasonable distance from him.
僕のことわかりますか？
Naoshi-kun took off his hat, even if he had an exposed mole under his right eye. Anyone could see that face was Meiko's.
ああ、神田橋の女給だね。髪、短い方が可愛いよ。
You don't end with that. You don't end with that. No. God, I hate him. I hate this guy. He's making me itchy. No.
長い髪は不潔に見える。さよなら。
Sayonara. Oh god, he's hot. Oh, I'm sorry, but he's hot. But I don't like the story about Ikeda-san. I want to end the story about Ikeda-san. Let's skip this over. Pretend it's never happened. No, we shouldn't. Oh, my poor baby. God, no. Struck by Kawase's word, Naoshi-kun's legs went out. Tears welled up in his eyes. His cheeks were flushed. Yeah, he liked him. He sobbed at himself from being unable to hate Kawase in the end.
川瀬、待ってくれ。川瀬。
I ran up to Kawase without opening my umbrella. He pretended not to notice me and pressed on, but I must have looked really awkward. Giving up, he turned around and burst into laughter.
風邪ひいちゃうよ。
Oh, this is Kawase's ending, isn't it? Oh, God. Heart.
川瀬。
今年も麗華になるのかな。マントがなかなか手放せないね。
本当にお前がやったのか。
I cannot believe he would tell me it was a lie, or to tell me I was so stupid so I could laugh and agree and put my arm around his shoulder. But Kawase and I knew the words we wanted to hear from each other. But Kawase looked back up in the rainy
ね
sky.
え玉森君、君は俺とどんな関係になりたかった？
Lovers! Lovers!
一緒に囲碁を打てたら楽しかったかな。星川とか類子とか怪奇小説を俺も楽しめたらもっと違った関係だったのかな。
私は
けど俺がそうしようとも思わなかったのは君のことが。
Kawase-san would look up at me.
川瀬。
まあ安心して。俺は自首なんかしないから君たちの手柄にするといい。
加藤君を守るためか。
He had killed Ikeda-san for him. Yeah, I mean, if he assaulted a child, good job, Kawase. God, Jesus, disgusting. He's disgusting. Did he assault you, Kawase-kun? No, please tell me he doesn't.
そうなんだろ。
Kawase didn't say anything. He didn't berate me either. He just continued to smile as if he were holding something back. The reason he couldn't say what he wanted to say must have been because I didn't turn out to be the friend Kawase wanted. All I felt was disappointment in myself. Kawase suddenly covered his mouth, vomit escaping from between his fingers. Fierce wind and rain blew up as if to protect his dignity. But the lightning seems to be drawn Kawase's shame and highlighted it clear as a day. He tried heave once, then twice. By the third time, he'd thrown up everything left in his stomach. He was barely managing to hold on to his umbrella so he wouldn't get wet. He wiped his mouth with his sleeve when it was over. This time, he left down Sakura Street without turning back. When I got back to Toyokinoma, the commotion from earlier had died down. Naoshi-kun was sitting all alone in the first row. I sat next to him without much thought. Rainwater was soaking into my collar, and I finally realized I was soaking wet.
みんなは
帰らせた。
そうか。
What exactly were we trying to do? What had we wanted to happen? Exposing Kawase meant exposing a friend. For Naoshi-kun, it meant
僕、川瀬さんのこと本当に好きだったんだよ。2年前からずっとだよ。川瀬さんの真剣な顔好きだった。
I mean, he is attractive.
なのに僕川瀬さんのこと怖いって。
Naoshi-kun began to sob. He slouched over, tears puddling by his feet. Someone like me who can even touch Kawase obviously couldn't pat Naoshi-kun on the shoulder either. As a total bystander, I found the present situation a relief. Honestly, I couldn't have been cared less whether Kawase was a murderer or he was punished for his crime. I was the guy who had tried to cling to Kawase after Minakami died. Even if I lost Kawase, I would still have the irregular regiment. It was fine as long as I could gain friendship. That's so sad. Yeah, I felt nothing but regret. I remembered the kind of past Kawase and I had. He might have opened up those old wounds. I slowly stood up. I said nothing to Naoshi-kun. I didn't even look at Sanjo-kun, who was waiting outside. I exposed myself to the harsh wind and rain outside.
玉森君、傘を忘れるな。玉森君。
玉森さん、
池田さんが変態じじいとは思わなかった。
Hentai Gigi.
殺されて当然だ。
Kawase hadn't killed Ikeda-san, no. He hadn't killed a lecherous old man because he was after an inheritance. It was to protect Kato-kun from the clutches of an old pervert. If I had known that, I wouldn't have put such an over-the-top play.
あいつと友達になるには どうしたらいいでしょ
何を言ってるんだい、玉森くん。
Go back to the past.
う。あいつがさっき言ったでしょ。俺も友達にしてくれと。
あれは後ろ汚い思惑に過ぎん。奇形を本気で答える必要はないよ。
ですが、私には。
He's hot. It sounded like he was screaming from his heart. Oh, my child. Kawase had looked at Katakun and the others in an inspiring light, the same way I had. Perhaps he had realized just how lonely he was.
ゾロになりたい。弱きを助け、悪しきをくじく。ゾロになりたい。
バカな妄想はよしなさい。川瀬くんのことは忘れて、まず君は自分自身のことを。
Bullets of rain beat against me from all sides. I was soaking wet. I should have gone home, yet here I was, unable to let go of my umbrella, feeling sorry for myself. Suddenly, my foot got caught up in a deep puddle. The cold water filled the bottom of my shoe and instantly swelled up my ankle. Ugh, I'm getting dirty again. The moment I had that thought. Alright, we jump into the puddle. We haven't found out, I guess, in this. I was suddenly on a streetcar. It wasn't very crowded, even the seats were mostly empty. But I can't believe we immediately, just forget what Minagami because of Kawase. That's insane. I was holding the ladder strap, staring blankly out the window. Wasn't I just staggering down a dark road? Hadn't I dreamed like this last time? A dream, or maybe a memory from the past? Suddenly, there was a slim novel in my left hand. I was using call-speed packaging to hide the cover, something I normally wouldn't do. This was the erotica I borrowed from Kawase. I tightened my grip and cracked it open ever so slightly. I peeked into it that narrow opening and skipped the content. There's no one here I know, right? And I found out that I, Aruaninse, a mystery writer, was reading such filth some Nazi rumor would probably start to spread. Eventually, a group of students on some random school got on the streetcar. Most of the time were type who had no manners and liked to look over people's shoulder. But I decided to ignore this minor obstacle and finish the last 5 pages. I was reading A Moment's Pedigree by Kyoka Izumi. Just so you know, even the last few pages, well, how could I put it? They didn't exactly get the blood pumping. The main character, Masao Hayase, several beautiful moments that he's involved with were introduced, but for some reason, even though it seemed like it would turn into something erotic, it never did. It was definitely an exciting story, but well, I was starting to feel bad for how the women were treated. I guess because of Hayase's wife, Otsuta, was formerly a geisha, it's rumored she had an abortion and was an outcast. Their relationship was torn apart by Hayase's teacher, Sakai, who was worried about Otsuta's past. Afterward, the couple went separate ways. I was hoping their lives would change, or the story would get sexier. But Otsuta died on the page before this, due to tuberculosis. She departed this world to make things worse. Hayase couldn't be present for Otsuta's death. Hayase took out his anger by meddling in another household affair, and eventually ruined that family. Woman's Pedigree ended with Hayase's suicide note. Ended with a suicide note. Finished reading A Woman's Pedigree. Everyone had died. What the hell was the sense of loss I was feeling? Wait, me? Try to remember what Kawase said when he let you borrow this book. Isn't love what you're missing? Love. Come to think of it, he never said anything about this being a smut. So why did I associate love with lust? God, no, Tamamori. I had a feeling Kawase was somewhere laughing at me. I ripped up my book cover, annoyed. 2. This was our second jump? That's insane! Now that I think about it, wait, now I kinda wanna check. What chapter was it? When that happened. Wait a minute. Playlist. God, my freaking voice is dying though, I need water. Well, let me grab water. God, they got no internet. Okay, I can't even look this up. Let me just grab water. Wait a moment. I just checked. I guess it wasn't that far off. It was chapter 8. Okay then. A cold wind blew by and it had just begun to rain. Wait. I was lying in some unfamiliar alley. Confused, I sat up and looked around. For no reason in particular, I stood up. I could feel the weight of water all over my body. I was already wet. When I creeped out from the alley, I was on Sakura Street near Toyokinuma. What happened? Had I been unconscious for a whole night? I staggered towards Toyokinuma and went inside. Then I laid down with a thud in the empty lobby.
春彦さん、
なんだね。
川瀬は今頃どうなっていると思いますか？
Last night, I wasn't able to go after Kawase.
近頃は大きな事件もないし、記者も世間も面白がって生やし立てているだろうね。だが、この世界が異様に見えるのはオラだけだろうか。
Haruko-san began to aimlessly walk around. I looked at the movie poster and dramatically furrowed his brow. Maybe because I'd gotten caught in the night shower, or maybe because I had a nightmare. The strange fatigue was making me nod off. I need to hurry to Kawase's place, I thought, but every time his face came to mind, my legs refused to move. I didn't want to think about anything. I closed my eyes again. Eventually, Sanjo-kun came out of the theater. He looked surprised when he saw me, then bowed slightly.
上映は1時半からっすよ。フィルムの到着が遅れてるんす。すみませんね。
え、なあ、別に私はいいよ。活動なんて見る気分じゃない。今しばらく休ませてくれないか？
はあ？お客じゃないなら帰ってくれます？
どこまで辛辣なのだ君は。同じ不正規連隊の一員ではないか。
Sancho-kun gave me a confused, childish look. He slowly retreated, continuing to stare at me with wide eyes. He then ran behind the counter and disappeared.
なんだ今のは。まるで他人みたいな反応だな。
やはり異様だ。
さっきから何なんですか？
見てみなさい。今日の演目が狂える悪魔と掲げられている。いいから見てみなさい。
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at the poster! I was annoyed, but I stood up from my chair, brought my face closer to the bulletin board like Haruki-san was doing.
どういうことでしょう？おーい、三条くん、三条くん。
うるせえ。
The music! I was speechless. I shook my head and leaned over the counter.
どうして今日も狂える悪魔を上映するのだ、三条くん。
Sanjo-kun!
なんであんたが俺の名前を知ってんだよ。
冗談が過ぎるぞ、サンク。
あんたを不正規連隊に入れた覚えはない。
他でもない直しくんのお達しだ。というか、昨夜はあんなに力を合わせて、ってああ
He threw caramel at me like a set of moonbeams, then lowered the counter shutter so fast it could have cut off my fingers. What a brat! Was he the kind of guy whose personality changed from morning to night? Wanting to cry more than a throw of fit and let alone sigh.
どうやらオラたちはまた3日前に戻ってきてしまったんじゃないだろうか。
3日前。
Even though I tried to be serious when I repeated him, I couldn't help scoffing.
何をバカな。
これを見ても笑ってられるかね。
Henriksen pointed his fat finger at my chest. When I turned to follow it, he was there. Minakami? Minakami was standing there. He opened his eyes. Oh god, he's attractive. I miss you, babe. His eyes were more focused than usual as he dropped the bag under his arm to the floor.
どうしてここが
Oh, my heart! I remember what happened and my heart aches.
なんで
なんでって、お前こそ何なのだよ。
We both had too many questions as we were trying to get out, so our words got caught in our throats. Neither of us could continue. My confusion came out as movement. My hands ruffled my hair on their own.
玉森
My head had come back again. It was the same afternoon from 3 days ago. That must have been it. The Dr. Jekyll and Hyde matinee, Minakami, alive? This was the second time I felt this awkwardness. Suddenly came back to my senses when I suddenly looked at Minakami. He no longer seemed surprised. Picked up the bag he had dropped and brushed it off the dirt.
どうしてお前がここにいるのだ。知人に会いに来たのか。
ああ
He had a friend he could go to the movies with other than me. Rather than feeling left out, I was feeling something much more pitiful and pathetic. I didn't want to admit that about myself, so I ignited my rage instead.
ちょっと来い。
I snatched Minakami's umbrella, grabbed his hand, and dragged him outside. Without an exasperated sigh, having no choice but to get under my umbrella so he wouldn't get wet.
どこへ行くんだ
The music's different. Ooh.
急すぎるぞそれにさっきも話したが俺には用事が
カフェに行く。その友人とやらと私、どちらを取る。
どうして
いいから選べ。
趣旨が全くわからない
I saw the Minakami's worried face turn around and start walking again. We should have done this the first time.
玉森くん、またその笑顔かい。
都合いいじゃないですか。何がきっかけでこうなったかはまあよくわかりませんが、
はて、
私は直志くんたちに友情が何たるかを教わりました。ですが川瀬とこの水上は真の友情を知らない。
So I teach them. I'll save Minakami while I was at it too.
にゃ
玉森さんおかしくなっちゃった
I think it's having fun. It's cute.
仕方あるまい。もう少し泳がせるとしよう。
I suddenly dragged Minakami all the way to the cafe, then made him sit in Kawase's seat. Minakami was restless the entire time, constantly checking on the clock. I poked at the ice in my coffee and remained quiet. I was waiting for him to calm down.
なあ玉森説明してくれ頼む
Tanomu. Once he got a taste of the story, Minakami was the kind of guy who couldn't relax until he had to read it to the end in one sitting. The storyteller was in front of him, so he couldn't leave, and he was trying his patience.
玉森
Tamamori. Now should be good.
最近私たち3人は疎遠だよな。
Minakami looked surprised and relaxed his shoulders. He was completely taken aback by my unexpected remark.
2年前までは毎日一緒にいたものの、帝都に来てから攪拌されてしまったように思える。
攪拌
私たちの関係をカルスピに例えてみたのだ。
Minakami didn't seem to understand. Minakami didn't seem to be understanding me very well. But then I can't read already. When I stirred my coffee with my straw, he let out a laugh mixed with frustration.
薄めに作ろうと濃いめに作ろうとカルスピはカルスピだろ俺たちは広い帝都にいるからチリチリに見えるだけで何も変わらない
私は薄いカルスピをカルスピとは認めん。理想の割合は4対1だ。もちろん現役が4だぞ。
それはどうかしている
それじゃあ 今から女給を呼んでこのカルスピが薄いと難癖をつけてみようか。お取り替えしますとなれば私の勝ちだ。カルスピが薄いゆえにカルスピとして欠陥があるということの証明になろう。本当にちょっと薄かったしな。こういうものですとあしらわれれば私の負けだ。カルスピが薄くともカルスピとして成立するということの証明になる。さあどうする？かけるか？
何をかけるんだ？
私が負けたらお前を解放してやる。
わかった。かけるよ。
かけるよ。
さあ女給を呼ぶぞ。
I raised my hand and waved. The one who came over was Naoshi-kun.
何かご用意ですか？
カルスピが薄い。お取り替えを頼む。
Naoshi-kun used his thumb and index finger to make a ruler, measure how much liquid was in the cup.
すみません。半分以上飲まれてるんで、返金はできかねます。
え？
He quickly ran away. I looked at Minakami dumbfounded.
だと思った。
じゃあ一体これは何なのだ？
半分飲んだということは、玉森も半分はこれをカルスピと認めていたということだ。いらないなら残りの半分は俺がもらおう。そうすればこれは10割のカルスピになる。
私はこんなくだらない話をしに来たのではない。
I should have tried to explain him in such a roundabout way. I shook off the shame covering me head to toe. I glared at him with narrowed eyes.
私たちの友情を薄めているのは一体誰だ？他ならぬお前ではないか。
俺？
お前、川瀬を避けているんだってな。川瀬が言っていたぞ。
The whole "it's been a while" thing was a lie. I've seen Mikami around the university several times. He must have seen me too. But before this, I saw him heading in the reading room, but when he came back from picking out a book, he was gone. He thought I would come to talk to him, and ran away. There was probably some sort of misunderstanding. I wanted Minakami to tell me, "You're wrong," himself. But there was a problem with Minakami making us misunderstand too. Kawase had a crude and vile habit of being suspicious of others. We should never forget that.
気を使わせてしまったな。川瀬には。すまんと謝っておいてくれ。
わかった。わかったが、勘違いだと弁解しなくていいのか？
Minakami smiled wryly and ended up lowering his eyes. I didn't think those narrow eyes of his could lower any more than that. But his gaze was clearly drooping.
なんとか言ったらどうだ？
奴が嫌いなんてことはないんだ。ただ、苦手なんだ。
The question ended up putting Minakami in a serious mood. When he lifted his head, he took a sip of his cold coffee.
どうして？
何もかも見透かされそうで、怖い。
Kawaii. Because he knew you liked Tamamori. Kawaii. That's what everyone said. Even I called him scary. But weren't we all friends? Weren't we the only ones who were allowed to casually call him Kawase?
なあ、みなかみ。私はお前にとってなんだ？私はお前のことを親友と思ってるよ。川瀬も同じだ。
I think of you as his lover. That could never come true, babes.
玉森。
I love you. That's why. Just one more time. Hanbota. That line just reminds me of Seran. I want him to make me believe.
私は今、訳あってこの3日間を繰り返しているのだ。証明できるものは何もない。私の言葉と記憶にしかない。それでも聞いてくれるか？
Minakami was concerned about the waitress and guests listening in. That was natural. My stories were always crazy, so I never knew when or who would start laughing at me. He didn't have to be so obvious about it though. I knew how this would end, but I had no choice but to continue.
お前は明日、水道橋で殺される。私はもう2度もお前の死体を見たのだ。2度目の時は、お前は私の忠告を無視して、ただ言う通りにしてくれればいい。水道橋には近づかない。そううなずいてくれれば。
わかった。
There was no way he understood. Minakami drank his coffee faster. His expression was blank. but had traces of the irritation he felt from wanting to get out of here.
頼む、みなかみ。私と一緒に川瀬を助けてくれ。
なんでまた川瀬の名前が出てくるんだ。
Jealous! My baby bean is jealous!
ともかく、お前らには仲直りしてもらいたいのだ。お前と川瀬の3人で活動に行こう。浅草の12階でもいいぞ。行楽町を回ろう。今からだ。
どうして？
どうしてって、それが友達のすることだからだよ。
落ち着け、玉森。何があったんだ？
I just told him, didn't I? But how I got back in time over and over again? But the endless swamp I've fallen into was stuck in Avicii hell. What is Avicii hell? Let's see. Oh, well, I guess we don't see.
で回りたいだけだ。叶わんことか？
If you and I were Kudo-kun and Toba-kun, I probably wouldn't be feeling this miserable. If I said, let's include Kato-kun and go play, we'd probably go off and have fun somewhere. But I know we were adults. Minakami and Kawase had their own plans and assignment they had to do. But I guess wanting them to forget about all that and prove our friendship was insane.
妄想は
Oh god, you get with this. I hate this.
何事かと思ったが、もう付き合いきれそうにない。
どこに行くのだ？
He took out enough money from his wallet for the both of us and politely handed it to me. After doing something like that, I couldn't have imagined he would glare at me sharply.
お前の空想には飽き飽きだ。
I suddenly lost the strength I was using to grab Minakami. I was certainly visionary, but I never told ridiculous lies. I joked, but I never lied. I created countless works of fiction and formed illusions. But he of all people should have known just how serious of a person I was.
情け知らずが。
You know why though?
死んでしまえ！
No! Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
死んでしまえ！
I hurled my insult at Minakami's back as he started to leave. I sat back in my chair while the waiters and guests continued to focus their stares on me.
文治さんどうしたの？ねえ。
直し君。君は嘘つきの男をどう思う？
Oh, I wasn't supposed to know that Naoshi-kun was Miko yet. I wondered how much I had surprised Miko.
何？文治さんっていうかタマさん、僕のこと気づいてたんだ。そしてタマさんとミナさんってそういう関係なんだ。
No, we don't, but we used to in alternative universe.
そういう関係？
だって今の血は喧嘩でしょ？
断じて違う。さっきのあれをどう見たらそう見えるのだ。
じゃあ一体何のお話？
Put my head down on the table and shoot him with one hand. Sweet Naoshi-kun was called over by another guest and
変
left.
なタマさん。
ひどいヒステリーだったな、玉森くん。
It's alright.
聞きましたか？田舎みのやつ。飽き飽きだって言ったのですよ。言うにこと書いて飽き飽きなんて。やめろ！
君と彼の信頼関係はこの程度だということだ。玉森くん、気を落とすな。
Who would believe me? Who would believe something like this? Even I didn't believe it, so how could anyone else? No, it didn't matter if he believed me or not, even without those feelings. If he could have thought about Kawase even just a little.
あいつは川瀬を軽蔑しているのだ。
水上くんが川瀬くんを。
I turned my head and cut Haruhiko-san off.
さっきから黙っていれば己のうちで話を進めようって。少しは口に出して整理しなさい。
私の幻想のくせに私の心の内も見抜けぬのですか。
Haruhiko-san was unusually annoyed with my sleepy ramblings. The frogman with his excessive heavy breathing was sweating nervously between us. I couldn't believe I was trying to break up with my hallucinations too. I must have hit rock bottom. I lifted my head and drank down my coffee, which had been more diluted with the melted ice in one gulp.
水上が頼れないなら頼るつもりはない。
日本語になっていないよ。
私は一人で川瀬を救ってやる。
Haruhiko-san silently shook his head. Nevertheless, when I rushed out the cafe, he followed me, still moving his head back and forth. I went back to Umebachi though. I had gone back for a certain reason, but I was shocked by the scene before me. I was lying flat on the floor facing a manuscript. Yeah, this happens a few times. He scribbled vigorously, not noticing me at all. The first thing I did before I approached me was close Umebachi-do's doors. Then step on the manuscript, which his face is now even closer to. When I did, I slowly examined myself from head to toe with eyes full of surprise.
なんだ貴様は。
貴様は。
よく聞け私よ。悲しいことに、お前の物語は誰からも必要とされていない。なんだと？お
The manuscript beneath my foot was wrenched out from under me, making me lose my balance.
君も学習しないな。
I ignored Haruka-san's comment and continued.
なぜ私と同じ顔をしている？君は今そう思っただろう？私は未来から来たお前なのだ。80万年後でも1000年後でもない。たった3日後から来たのだ。ふざけたことを気でも違っているんじゃないか？私が愚かであることは認めよう。口で言っても融通の利かないバカだと分かっている。だから今から3日後から来たことを証明してやる。予言だ。夕方、眼帯の男が来る。そしてそこのドグラマグラを手に取り、金魚上炉をお題の代わりに置いていく。ドグラマグラだと？みなかみのやつめ。
I went to pull the Doggerel out of the bookshelf. Pushed the book back in.
流行るなよ。私の言うことを最後まで聞け。いいか？君は今、芥川の2つの手紙を思い出している。旦那が己そっくりなドッペルゲンゲルを見て非する話だ。なぜわかる？君が私だからだ。だから最初に君の疑念を潰そう。まず私はドッペルゲンゲルではない。うるさい幻覚だ。幻覚でもない。2とは便利な数字だ。一人が欠けてももう一人がいる。そうなると2、3、4と便利なものが続くが、今は贅沢は言えん。何をブツブツと気味の悪い。おまわりを呼ぶぞ。だから待て。何も私は君になり変わろうというのではない。不気味な幻覚め。君は今、カエル男と古書店店主の話を書いている。だが、今すぐにその物語の執筆を中止しろ。
The one who was most surprised was none other than Frogman.
お前が私であることは分かった。だが、お前が幻覚でない証拠は？
Oof, the conversation seems to be progressing
そ
smoothly.
んなの簡単だ。君の方を叩いて覚醒させてやる。
He hasn't learned. If I hit him, he'll probably throw a fit, then let it go. I grabbed him by the collar, pulled him closer, but the moment that stupid face received the palm of my hand, boom, turned to water. The cheek I touched turned clear blue. Ripple ran through my entire body. In the blink of my eye, my body turned to water.
あれ？
There was a heap of clothes where I had been. Then they slowly began to soak up the water. I staggered back before I could get into my shoes. I had turned into water? Again?
カエル男、また匂いを嗅げ。
またですね。
The frogman sniffed the water as Haruka-san commended.
水です。これも今日の雨水です。
うん。どうやら君が触れると、もう一人の君は水になってしまうらしい。なんでかはオラにもわからん。ともかく玉森くん、そこの服を探ってみなさい。
Okay, I think we've been circling back to the same story. I've been recording for 2 hours, which is not that much. I think I recorded more for the Hanazawa episode, the fight with Minagami. God, that was beautiful. I wanted to record longer, but I have to pick Nox out at the airport today, so I can't do that. But this was really fun. I hope you guys are excited as I am. This, again, will be a continuing series with a space for the Unbound. I have a space of the Unbound in editing at the moment. But yeah, I'll upload this one first because there should be less edits. So yeah, this is gonna be going on in a few weeks' time. So you're gonna continue the story again. Always excited to stream this, and I'll be using this model for a while because I made it and I want to use it. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.